Welcome all. Welcome to the lecture series on digital electronics. It is a subject in third semester, Diploma ETCE. The course code is ETCE/DE/S3. This is lecture number 26 of the lecture series on digital electronics. I am Paulusri Dhar, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. So let us start lecture number 26. So this is the brief course objectives, and here in this slide we will see which course objective will be fulfilled after the completion of this lecture number 26. So our subject, that is digital electronics, it consists of 60 number of total lectures, and now we are in module 4, that is sequential logic circuits. So module 4 consists of 4 subunits. First one is unit 4.1, that is difference between combinational and sequential logic circuits, triggering of sequential logic circuits. 4.2 is difference between flip-flop and latch, construction of RS, D, JK master slave, T flip-flops using basic gates, preset and clear signal. The next module is unit 4.3, counters. The counters, we will be studying about the asynchronous and synchronous counters, ripple counters, mod n counter, up down counters, ring counters, Johnson counters, and also all the applications of all the counters. The next unit is registers, shift registers, serial in, serial out, then CPO, that is serial in, parallel out, then PPO, parallel in, parallel out, then PSO, parallel in, serial out, and also the applications. Next are the course objectives. Now the course objectives are very important because this course objectives will be fulfilled when the course is being completed, or the students will see that all these course objectives are completed after the completion of this particular course. Now let us see the course objectives. The first course objective is do conversion of the number systems. Second is understand the concept of the logic gates and its operations. Third is design simple logic circuits using the logic gates. Fourth is design of the combinational circuit. Fifth is design of the sequential circuit. Sixth is gain the comprehensive idea on various memory devices. Seven is understand analog to digital conversion and also digital to analog conversion techniques. Eighth is understand different logic families and their comparisons. Now, this course objective number 5, that is design of the sequential circuit, is very important as this course objectives will be fulfilled after the completion of this lecture number 26 of this lecture series on digital electronics. So let us see now the short lecture plan of this lecture number 26. Our course is digital electronics and the course code is ETCE/DE/S3, and we are in unit number 4, that is sequential logic circuits. In unit 4 we will see construction of RS, and we will learn about construction of the D flip-flop, construction of the JK flip-flop, construction of the JK master slave flip-flop, and construction of the T flip-flop using all the basic gates and also the preset and the set signals related to each of these flip-flops. So basically in this lecture we will be studying about the different types of the. So let us move to the next slide. So before starting lecture number 26, let us have a quick recap of the previous lectures. So starting from the first lecture, we had seen the syllabus of this digital electronics and also the course objective of this particular course. And we have started with the number system. That is the first module or the first unit. In the number systems, we have learned about the basic number systems like the binary number system, decimal number system, octal number system, and hexadecimal number system. And also we have seen how we are converting from one number system to the other. Next, we have studied about the complement numbers. That is 1 is complement, 2 is complement, 9 is complement, and also all the numericals associated with the complement methods. Next, we have studied about the basic gates. In the basic gates, we have seen that there are different types of gates like the that the basic gates, then the universal gates, then the XOR or XNOR gates, and we have also seen the applications of each gate. After that, we have started the Boolean algebra, and we know that Boolean algebra is one of the minimization techniques. So in the Boolean algebra, we have learned how to minimize the expressions using all the theorems like the De Morgan's theorem, then associative laws, distributive laws, and also we have seen the minimization techniques applying all the formulas. The next minimization techniques is the use of K-map. In the K-map, we have first seen the SOP form and the POS form, that is sum of the product and the product of sum form, and also the associated mean terms and the max terms of the different variables like the 2 variable, 3 variable, and the 4 variables. And we have learned how to do the K-map of the 2 variable, 3 variable, 4th variable, and also the don't care conditions. Next, we have come to the combinational circuits. In the combinational circuits, we have used the minimization techniques, and we have seen how to design the adders, subtractors, then multiplexers, encoders, decoders, then code converters, comparators, and like this. Next, the module we are running now is the unit number 4, or module 4 is the sequential logic circuits. In the previous lecture, we have seen the differences between the sequential logic circuits and the combinational logic circuits, and also how to design the latch, that is the preliminary of the flip-flop, that is the SR latch, how to design the SR latch, and also the truth table and the logic circuit of the SR latch, and also the all the 4 cases of the SR latch. So let us proceed next to the lecture number 26. So we are starting with the flip-flops. We already know that the flip-flops are the synchronous logic circuits that change their state only when the clock pulses are present. So flip-flop is nothing but a latch with an additional control input, that is the clock. So the clock with an additional control input, that is a clock, is the flip-flop. So in this lecture, we will be studying about the different types of the flip-flops. So the different types of flip-flops are, first is SR flip-flop, that is called the set reset flip-flop. Then the D flip-flop called the delay flip-flop. Next is the JK flip-flop, which is the advanced version of the SR flip-flop. And that is the next and the last one is the T flip-flop, that is the toggle flip-flop. In the JK flip-flop, there is a condition called the toggle, and this toggle condition gives rise to the toggle flip-flop or the T flip-flop. So basically these 4 are the types of the flip-flop, such as the SR flip-flop, D flip-flop, JK flip-flop, and the T flip-flop. Let us move to the next slide, that is the SR flip-flop. In the SR flip-flop, you can see that there are 2 inputs, S and R. First one is a set and the reset. As S and R flip-flop means set reset flip-flop, there are 2 inputs, S and R, and there are 2 outputs, Q and Q bar. Now you can see that this is enable or the clock. This is enable or the clock. This is also the clock. Now here you can see that this clock has been added to the SR flip-flop using the AND gate. And this one is nothing but the SR latch. The SR latch you have studied in the previous lecture. This is the SR latch, and these are the 2 inputs, S and R. As there is a clock, so this is an SR flip-flop. The SR flip-flop contains the SR latch, and there are 2 outputs, Q and Q bar. And this is the block diagram of the SR flip-flop. Now this SR flip-flop can be designed using the NAND based and also using the NOR based. So there are basically 2 logic circuits in case of SR flip-flop. First one is the NOR based SR flip-flop, where you are using the NOR gate. This is the NOR gate, and in the case of NAND, you are using the NAND gates. In the case of the NOR based SR flip-flop, you are using the AND gate for giving the clock, and R is always at the first position of the input and S is in the second position. This is universal in nature, and this is Q and this is Q bar. Similarly, You can see that in the NAND based SR flip-flop, S is the first input and this is the R, and these are connected like this. Now you can see that Q is connected like this to the second NOR gate, and similarly Q bar is connected to the first NOR gate. You can see that, let me draw it here, that this is nothing but the SR latch. This is nothing but the SR latch. This is nothing but the SR latch. Already you know the SR latch. I hope you know the SR latch. This is nothing but the SR latch. Okay. So this is R and S are the two inputs and Q bar are the two outputs. So in this slide, we have seen that the SR flip-flop can be designed using the NAND-based gates and also using the NOR-based gates. Now we will, in the next slides, we will see that the SR flip-flop we are designing, always we are taking the NOR-based SR flip-flop. So let us see the truth tables and also the circuits. Now this is the truth table of the NOR-based SR flip-flop. Here you see that this is the logic diagram. In the logic diagram, always R is in the first position of the input and S is the second position in case of the NOR-based SR flip-flop. Now here, these are the inputs S and R, and these are the outputs Qn+1 and Qn+1 bar. And this is the action taken when the inputs are there. Now, when the inputs are 0, 0, the output Qn+1 is equal to Qn, and Qn+1 bar is equal to Qn bar. That is, the present state is equal to the next state. So it is no change. Next is 0, 1. When S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, then Qn+1 is equal to 0. Similarly, Qn+1 bar will be equal to 1. When Qn+1 is equal to 0, then the action taken is reset. That is, whenever the value is 0, the action is reset. Next condition is S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. When S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, then Qn+1 is equal to 1 and Qn+1 bar is equal to 0. That is, the action taken is set. Whenever the value of Qn+1 is 1, then the action is set. Next case is 1, 1. When S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, then this condition is not determined. It is indeterminate condition. That's why the values of Qn+1 and Qn+1 bar is given in question mark. That is, it is a forbidden state, or this state cannot be determined in case of SR flip-flop. And this state is true for all the flip-flops. That is in NAND-based SR flip-flop also and NOR-based SR flip-flop also. That is, for 1, 1 condition, this state is forbidden state. Next, let us see how this circuit operates. Now we have named this NOR gate as 1 number and this NOR gate as 2 number NOR gate. And these are the AND gates, this one. And this AND gates, one input is R and another input is clock. This clock is going as the input to this AND gate also, and this clock is also going as the input in this AND gate also, and other input is S in this AND gate. Now let us see the two cases. Now we consider the first case. When clock is equal to 0, that is, suppose this one is equal to 0. Let us write here. When clock is equal to 0, this is 0, then what will happen? Output of both the AND gates 1 and 2 is 0. Now let us also name these AND gates as 1 and 2. This 1 and 2 are the AND gates, and this 1 and 2 are the NOR gates. Now, as it is written here that when clock is equal to 0, the output of both the AND gates is equal to 0. You know that if one of the inputs of the AND gate is 0, then the output will be always equal to 0. So this is 0 and this is also 0. So whatever be the values of the inputs, the output, whatever be the values of the inputs R and S or R, it will not affect this circuit because the clock is equal to 0. I hope that it is clear. I am trying to say that when clock is equal to 0, then whatever be the inputs, that is input value of R or S, the output of this two AND gates will be equal to 0. So when clock is equal to 0, the inputs will not have any effect on the Q output. This inputs, that is R and S inputs, will not have any effect on the Q and Q bar outputs. Next case, what is the next case? Next case is when clock is equal to 1. Now when clock is equal to 1, let us write here clock is equal to 1. Then when R is, suppose there will be two cases. When clock is equal to 1, then when and R is equal to 0. Then what will be the output of the first AND gate? It will be equal to 0. Okay. When clock is equal to 1 and 1 is going here and S is equal to, and suppose R is equal to 1. Then what will happen? It will be 1. So what happens when R is equal to 0? We are getting 0 here. When R is equal to 1, we are getting 1 here. So what will happen? The inputs of R and S act accordingly, and Q also changes according to R and S. So this was the thing. Let us again explain it. When suppose when clock is equal to 1, R is equal to 0. Then what will be this input? This input to the NOR gate, it will be 0. Okay. Now when clock is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, then again this output will be equal to 1. That is input to the NOR gate will be 1. So what we can say, that this inputs, this input and this input follows the inputs of R and S. That is, the inputs of R and S will act accordingly, and also the outputs Q and Q bar will change according to R and S, which was not possible in case number 1. So this values will be followed. Okay. And this one, what is this one? As this one is nothing but an SR latch. So this inputs will act accordingly according to the truth table. I hope this slide and also this truth table and also this both the cases are clear to all of you. Now let us move to the next slide, that is characteristics equation and characteristics table. So this characteristics table is nothing but the present state and next state table for the SR flip-flop. And from this table we will be getting the characteristics equation, which is nothing but getting Qn plus 1 in terms of present state and its inputs. So let us see, the present state is Qn and the set input is S. The set input is R, and we have to find out, depending on Qn, S and R, the next state, that is Qn plus 1. We can find out from the truth table. What is the truth table? We already know the truth table. For S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, the action is no change. That is Qn plus 1 is equal to Qn. Okay. And for 0, 1, when S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, Qn plus 1 is equal to 0. That is reset. Next case is when S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, Qn plus 1 is equal to 1. That is set. Next is 1, 1. The condition is not determined. That is, it is a forbidden condition. Okay. And let us see how this can be implemented in this present state, next state table. Now Qn, S and R, and we will be finding out Qn plus 1 depending upon these three values. Now, as there are three variables, so there will be 8 cases. We have written the 8 cases, and let us see the first case. Now Qn is equal to 0, S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0. When S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, what will be the value of Qn plus 1? Qn plus 1 will be equal to Qn. That is 0. That's why it is written here Qn plus 1 is equal to Qn. Next case, when Qn is equal to 0, S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. So S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. We get from the truth table that it is 0. Qn plus 1 is equal to 0. That is reset. Okay. Next case is S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. In this case, from the truth table, we are getting this, that Qn plus 1 is equal to 1. That is set condition. whenever you just see the values of S and S. In this case, when the value of S is equal to 0, the condition is reset. When S is equal to 1, the condition is set. Next case, when Qn is equal to 0, S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1. In this case, it is a forbidden state. This is the forbidden state because S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1 in SR flip-flop. So it will be Qn plus 1 will be forbidden. That is, in this case, we are taking D. That is a don't care. We are taking D because this is a forbidden state. So we are taking D as don't care condition. Next is Qn is equal to 1, S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0. So the Qn plus 1 will be equal to, again, Qn plus 1 will be equal to Qn. This 1 will be coming here, that is 1. So Qn plus 1 is equal to Qn. Similarly, when presence Qn plus 1 is equal to 1, S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. So the Qn plus 1 will be equal to 0. That is reset. Next case is Qn is equal to 1, S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. So Qn plus 1 will be equal to 1. That is set. Next is Qn is equal to 1, S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1. So the next state Qn plus 1 is equal to D, because this condition again, S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1 is not determined. That is, it is a forbidden state. So we have taken it as don't care. That is D. Now we will be taking these values as the output values, and these are the three variables, and we will be doing the K-map. K-map for Qn plus 1. So if you are doing, see, we have written Qn here and S and R here. So here there will be two don't care conditions, this and this, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3 are the three values. Now we are taking this one as one pairing and this one as one pairing. If we take this thing, then we can write then Qn plus 1 will be equal to S R bar plus of Qn R bar. We are taking R bar as the common. So Qn plus 1 will be equal to R bar into S plus Qn. Now this one is the characteristics equation in case of SR flip-flop. Now this is always universal. This one is always universal. That is always in SR flip-flop, this is the characteristics equation, and you have to do the pairing like this only. In case of the SR flip-flop, this one and this one and this one you have to take, and this one is the universal characteristics equation for the SR flip-flop. I hope it is clear to all of you. Now let us move to the next slide. That is the excitation table in case of the SR flip-flop. Now this excitation table is somewhat different from the truth table. What happened in the truth table? In the truth table, we had the inputs and corresponding outputs we are finding out in the case of the truth table. But in the case of the excitation table, here we will have the outputs. Okay? And from the outputs, we are going to find the inputs. And from the outputs, we are going to find the inputs in case of the SR flip-flop. Okay? Now let us see how we are getting the excitation table. We are getting the excitation table from the characteristics table. This is the characteristics table and this is the excitation table. And this excitation table we are getting from the characteristics table. We see the combinations of Qn and Qn plus 1 in the characteristics table, and where the value of S is same, the values of S is kept in the excitation table, and where the values of S changes, then the value of S is don't care or cross. And that is same also for, now let us see that there are in the excitation table there is 0, 0. Qn value is 0, Qn plus 1 value is 0. Now we will look for these values in this characteristics table. This is one. Let me draw here for you. This is one value like this. See, in this case, just see that Qn is equal to 0, Qn plus 1 is also equal to 0. Now again, let us see if there are any other values. Again, there is another value like this. See, Qn is 0, Qn plus 1 is 0. Now what we will do, we will see the values for S. The value for S is 0 and 0 in both the cases. So we will write the value here. It is 0. See, it is 0 here. Next, you see the values for R. The value of R is changing. It is 0 one time, 1 one time. So what we will do? So it is don't care here. I hope it is clear. Like write like this, that the value of S is going here. It is 0. This is 0. And the value of R is don't care. Why it is don't care? Because the value is changing in both the cases. In both the cases, one case it is 0 and one case it is 1. So the value that changes, it is don't care, and the value which remains same, we are giving that value in the excitation table. I hope this case is clear to all of you. Now let us look for the second case. When Qn is 0 and Qn plus 1 is 1. Now here only there is, I think there is only one value like this, this is the value. Qn is 0, Qn plus 1 is 1. Other values is not matching. So what is the value of S? S is 1 and R is 0. Again, let us see, S is 1 and R is 0. We've written the value like this. Next case is 1 and 0. Now let us see 1 and 0. We are having this value like this. So 1 and 0 is value of S is 0 and R is 1. The value of S is 0 and R is 1. Next case is 1, 1. Qn is 1 and Qn plus 1 is 1. So let us see the values. This is one value, this one. Again, another value is this one. This is the other case. First case is this one and second case is this one, where the value of Qn is 1, Qn plus 1 is 1. Again, Qn is 1 and the value of Qn plus 1 is 1. Now let us see the value of S. The value of S is changing. It is 0 here and 1 here. So what will be the value of S? It will be don't care. Okay, because the value is changing. Next is the value of R. The value of R is 0 here. Also it is 0 here. So the value of R will be 0 here. So we see that how we are getting the values of this excitation table from the characteristics table. In each case we are considering the cases. So we can see that from the characteristics table, considering all the cases, in case of the Qn and Qn plus 1, we are getting the excitation table. And excitation table, how we are getting? We are considering the values of S and R. If the value of S or R is same, then we are writing the same value. And if the value changes, then we are writing the don't care for that particular S or R. So I hope this excitation table is clear. This is very important because after the excitation table, from the excitation table, we are going to draw the state diagram. You see here that this excitation table is 0, 0. The value of S is 0. That is, when the state changes from 0 to 0, the value of S will be equal to 0. When the state changes from 0 to 1, the value of S is 1 and the value of R is 0. Similarly, when the state changes from 1 to 0, the value of S is 0 and the value. And the last one is when the state changes from 1 to 1, then S is equal to don't care and R is equal to cross. Now, employing this table, that is the excitation table, we will be drawing the state diagram. Now see, in flip-flops, each of these tables are connected. From the truth table, we are getting the characteristics table. From the characteristics table, we are getting the excitation table. And from the excitation table, we are getting the state diagram. Each of this may be coming in the exam. Suppose you are told to write the excitation table and also to draw the state diagram, the marks will be 5. Like this, the questions may be coming. So keep it in mind and also read each of these tables very minutely. So let us see the next slide. Now see, this is the excitation table, and from the excitation table we are going to draw the state diagram, and these are the things in the state diagram. Now let us draw the state diagram. See, when the state changes from 0 to 0, state is changing from 0 to 0, 0 to 0, see, then S is equal to 0. So you are writing S is equal to 0. Next is state changes from 0 to 1, 0 to 1, then it is S is equal to 1, that is set. So we have written set here. Okay, next is 1 to 0, 1 to 0, what is the value? The value of R is 1, that is reset. Next case is 1 to 1, when the value of R is equal to 0. So it is again 1 to 1 when the value of R is equal to 0. See, basically in this case of the excitation table, we can see there are two states, 0 and 1. These are the two states, 0 and 1. So we have written this, we have done a circle and we have written 0 inside it. These circles denote the states 0 and 1, and just we follow the excitation table, that is 0 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 0 and 1 to 1. 0 to 0 is given like this, 0 to 1 is like this, 1 to 1 is like this, and 1 to 0 is like this. Now let us read this. State transition takes place from 0 to 1 when S is equal to 1, that is set. Next is state transition takes place from 1 to 0 when R is equal to 1, that is this condition is told here, that is reset. Next is state transition takes place from 0 to 0 when S is equal to 0 irrespective of the value of R, that is this one. Next is state transition takes place from 1 to 1 when the value of R is equal to 0 irrespective of the value of S, that is this condition is being specified here. Now I hope this SR flip-flop is clear to all of you. So we will move to the next slide. So now after completing the SR flip-flop, we are in the D flip-flop. D flip-flop means the delay flip-flop. So D flip-flop is nothing but the delay flip-flop, and this is the logic circuit of the D flip-flop. Here we are considering the NAND based SR flip-flop, because the D flip-flop comes from the SR flip-flop only. So it has got only one input, that is the D or the delay, and it has got the two outputs Q and Q bar. So it can be constructed using the SR flip-flop by inserting an inverter in between them, in between the S and R. So basically this is the SR flip-flop, and in between S and R we are connecting an inverter and naming the input as D, and these two are connected with a clock. And this is nothing but the NAND based SR flip-flop, where in between S and R we are connecting a inverter. Let us write here, it is S and this is R, and in between them a inverter is connected and the input is named as D. So I hope this circuit is clear to all of you. Now let us move to the next slide, which we will be studying the truth table and also the cases, how this circuit is operating. Now this is the logic circuit. We have named the gates as 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is the logic circuit of D flip-flop, and this is the truth table of the D flip-flop. Now let us see the truth table and the logic circuit, and also how here in this slide we will explain how this circuit operates. Now there will be two cases. Now the first case is when the clock will be equal to 0. Now this is the case when clock will be equal to 0, and you can see the truth table that when clock is equal to 1, D is equal to 1, this Dn is the input and Qn is the output. D is equal to 0, then the output will be equal to 0, that is Qn plus 1 will be equal to 0. Similarly, when clock is equal to 1 and D is equal to 1, then the output Qn plus 1 will be equal to 1, and when clock is equal to 0, then the circuit will have no effect of the D input. So without the clock, the flip-flop will have no effect of the input. So let us see the cases. The first case is when the clock is equal to 0, gate number 1 and 2 have in outputs 1 regardless of the value of D. Now see, when clock is equal to 0, this is 0, so let us write like this is 0, the 0 is going here, so this is 0 and also this is 0. So the outputs will be 1 and 1, but the input of D will have no effect on this circuit. So this is now considering the second case. Here we see that when clock is equal to 1, then Q will take the value of the D. Now we will prove this one from this circuit. Now see, when clock is equal to 1, D is equal to 1, then what will be the output of the NAND gate 1? When clock is 1, let us draw here. When clock is 1, D is equal to 1, then the output of the NAND gate 1 will be equal to 0. This is 0. So ultimately the output of the NAND gate 3 will be equal to 1. So we can say Qn plus 1 is equal to 1 or Q is equal to 1. So when clock is equal to 1 and D is equal to 1, then Qn plus 1 is equal to 1. Similarly, let us see the second case or the case number 2, B case. When clock is equal to 1 and D is equal to 0. When clock is equal to 1, clock is equal to 1, D is equal to 0. Now D is equal to 0 means this one, the output of the NAND gate 1 is 1. Similarly, output of the NAND gate 1 is 1 and output of the NAND gate 3 is 0. So what we get, Q is equal to 0 or Qn plus 1 is equal to 0. That is, when D is equal to 0 and clock is equal to 1, then output will be equal to 0. That is, Qn plus 1 will be equal to 0. So output just takes the values of D when clock is equal to 1. So this is the truth table and also the logic circuit of the D flip-flop. Now let us go to the next slide. Next slide is the characteristics table and the equation. Now characteristics table means we will be taking the present output, input and the next output. Present output is Qn, input is D and Qn plus 1. Now you see from the truth table that whenever the value of D is 0, output is equal to 0. Now let us write like this. Qn is 0, 0. So the value of D is equal to 0. So Qn plus 1 will be equal to 0. Similarly, when Qn is equal to 0, D is equal to 1. As D is equal to 1, so Qn plus 1 will be equal to 1. Similarly here, Qn is equal to 1 and D is equal to 0. So the Qn plus 1 will be equal to 0 as D is equal to 0. Just Qn plus 1 will take the value of D. Next is 1 and 1. Qn is equal to 1 and D is equal to 1. So the next output will be, that is Qn plus 1 will be equal to 1 as D is equal to 1. Just taking the value of D. Now this is the truth. This is the K-map of the next output, that is the Qn plus 1. So Qn plus 1, we are taking this as the pairing. We are just putting these values according to Qn and D. This is Qn and D. This is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. So we are taking this as the pairing. So ultimately we are getting Qn plus 1 is equal to D. And this is the characteristics equation. You always know that the characteristics equation is universal for this D flip-flop everywhere. So I hope this is clear. Now let us move to the next slide. The next slide is the excitation table. Here in the excitation table, we will be writing the present output and the next output and writing the corresponding input values. So this is Qn, Qn plus 1 and D. Now you know that D follows the values of Qn plus 1 or Qn plus 1, the value of Qn plus 1 is equal to D. So just write the values and note one thing, that in the D flip-flop, the characteristics table and the excitation table are same only. So 0, 0 means the value of D will be 0 as Qn plus 1 is 0. 0, 1 means the 1, the value of D is 1 because Qn plus 1 is 1. Next is 1 0, so it is 0 because qn plus 1 is 0. Similarly 1 1, the value of d is 1 because qn plus 1 is equal to 1. So let us see the state table after that, or the state diagram. Now the state diagram comes from the excitation table. See 0 0 means 0 and 0 1. There are two states, 0 and 1. Okay. The state changes from 0 to 0 when the value of d is equal to 0. The state changes from 0 to 1 when the value of d is equal to 1. Similarly, the state changes from 1 to 0 when the input value is 0. Next, the state changes from 1 to 1 when the value of d is equal to 1. Now we will be drawing these cases in the state diagram. The state diagram, 0 to 0 when the value of d is equal to 0, that is d bar. Next 0 to 1 when the value of d is equal to d. Next is 1 to 0 when the value of d is equal to 0, that is d bar. Next is 1 to 1 when the value of d is equal to d. Now just see, when d is equal to 1, then qn plus 1 next state is equal to 1. When d is equal to 0, then qn plus 1 next state is equal to 0 irrespective of the previous state. So this was the truth table of the D flip-flop. In the case of D flip-flop, one thing is very important, that when a qn plus 1 takes the value of d irrespective of all the states. So just keep this in mind, that the value of qn plus 1 or the output takes the value of the input, that is d. Whenever the value of d is equal to 0, then qn plus 1 will be equal to 0. Whenever the value of d is equal to 1, the value of qn plus 1 will be equal to 1, provided the clock is equal to 1. So thank you all. Thank you for listening to me and hope to meet you soon. Thank you all.